The Flow Friday Night Sports Show continues on netball. We need to have a look at that now across the Yorke Peninsula and the Mid-North. Flowman is back with me once more to help us go through that. Flowman, let's have a look first of all at Yorke Peninsula Netball and how that went in the A-grade competition last weekend.
Well, Ardrossan would be pleased with this because the Southern Eagles came to play but didn't get there in the end. 11 points down, 11 goals down to the Ardrossan blue and white dressed girls who won 46-35. The Crow girls, a 21-goal win over Butte. It was a big win from the CMS Crows, 57-36. And then it was the Central York Cougars, the girls in the navy blue, back to a winning form, 59 over Kadina, 53, and then Pascaville, 74 to Wallaroo, 20, 54 goals, if you don't mind, and the netball match is cruising along.
Belted them up. Have a look at the top of that ladder at the moment, 10, 10 and 10. Three teams all on equal points, only percentage separating them, and they're less than 10% doing that. So you could throw a blanket over them. Ardrossan back, they're on 8 premiership points. Kadina are on 6. Southern Eagles are on 6. Let's have a look at the upcoming matches for this round in Yorke Peninsula Netball, Flowman.
Yeah, Ardrossan, good chance for them to shore up their top 5 position here, and I think they can beat Butte at home. I think Kadina, they take on the Crows, tough ask for them. If Kadina drop a match here, it opens the door for them to drop out of top 5, and so the Crows, I think, will put them away here at Kadina. Southern Eagles play Pascaville, and this is going to be a tough one for the Eagle girls, down at their home deck at Edithburgh, but unfortunately, Pasky, they are really shooting the lights out right now, and Moonta will beat Wallaroo in the final match.
Moonta over Wallaroo. I think you might be onto something right there. All right, that's Yorke Peninsula Netball. Let's move to Northern Areas next, and if we have a look at Jamestown Peterborough, they took on Orroo last week, 61-38, the scoreline there. What about this? BMW and Southern Flinders, they drew 48 apiece. There was only 4 points between them in their football, and they did the same thing a month ago.
It's amazing. These two are so evenly matched, and it is strange as these sides are your bogey side or the side that when you come out against them, they always seem to play as well or better, and maybe it goes back even generations for those two sides. The other match was Broughton Mundura 69, beat Crystal Brook 28, and that is a 40-odd goal win, 39 to be precise, but that's starting to get pretty ugly for the Crystal Brook girls because they certainly wouldn't appreciate that type of drubbing.
7-0 on top of the ladder, Broughton Mundura, Jamestown Peterborough 6-1. Then it gets to a bit of a logjam. Southern Flinders, Crystal Brook, they've both had 2 wins and a draw, and Orroo have had just the 2 wins. BMW can't crack it for a win at the moment. But what have they had? 2 draws.
Yes.
Work that out.
That's an amazing thing. They've actually had more draws than they have had wins or losses. Losses have had more.
Yeah. That's... Anyway, never mind. Let's have a look at what's coming up in this round of matches, Flowman. And I can tell you now, some big games, Orroo and Crystal Brook.
Yeah, I think Orroo might just have the measure of Crystal Brook, even though the Brook are in the 4 at the moment. James St. Peter play BMW. It'll be
might be a draw.
Black and white girls. They're going to clean them up here, I reckon, at the indoor stadium. That indoor stadium, it is luxury. It's like... Well, look, it's like playing at Keith in their indoor stadium. It's like playing in Freeling in their indoor stadium. It's a magnificent facility.
Like playing in your garage, that's indoors.
Yes.
Broughton Mundura, they travel to Gladstone to take on Southern Flinders. They're top of the ladder. They'll win that.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
All right. Northeastern Netball. Let's check out what happened last weekend there. Blythe Snowtown 42. They went down to RSMU 54. BSR 48 over North Clare 24 and South Clare 35. They went down to Yudunda Robertstown 51. A quick check of the ladder there sees RSMU on top in the A1s. They've had 4 wins from 4 starts. Yudunda Robertstown have played 5 games. They've also got 4 wins, but they've had a loss. BSR 2-2, South Clare 2-3, And then the last three on the ladder who are outside of the four at the moment, Minman, Blythe Snowtown and North Clare, all one win each, Flowman.
Yeah, those last three still just with one more win could put some pressure on that fourth place South Clare. So there is a good opportunity there in that comp with just the 7 teams playing at A grade. It brings us to this week's matches, and Minman play BSR, and one of the matches of the round, I think at Mintaro, I think maybe the Tiger Girls get home. North Clare take on Blythe Snowtown, and a real opportunity for those lower sides there to score some points. North Clare maybe, and RSMU play South. RSMU comfortably the top side will beat South in this match.
Barossa Light and Gawler Netball last weekend. Plenty of big matches in the Senior 1 competition. And let's go through them. Angaston 42 took on Kapunda. The Bombers 69 did an absolute number on the Angaston girls.
Yeah, no, I reckon a bit of surprise with that result. Kapunda had a poor week the week before, and they've come out with all guns blazing, and 27-goal win is massive in A-grade netball.
Barossa Districts 53, South Gawler 37. Nuriut Pa, they went down to Gawler Central in the Tiger Battle, 56-50, and Tanunda 53 over Freeling 37. Quick check of that ladder there for the senior ones. Barossa District on top with 8 wins and no losses so far. They're the only team to have played 8 games, so I'm tipping they'll have the bye this week. Gawler Central 6-1, South Gawler 4 a draw and 2 losses. Kapunda 4 wins 3 losses. Outside of the top 5, Flowman, Angaston 4-3 and out on percentage at the moment. Then we go back to Nuri 3-1-3, and then Tanunda and Williston have had 1 win each with Freeling yet to break their
that importance of that win by Kapunda over Angaston can't be further underscored by the swapping of the placings into that top 4 after the weekend's game.
Freeling will host Williston this week. Williston will win that. Gawler Central will take on Tanunda. Ooh, give us a tip there.
Yeah, and the Tiger Girls from Gawler will get home. Kapunda should beat Newry. Now, if they do, then Newry's season just gets that little bit harder. And that's why I reckon Kapunda might actually do the job at home on their courts over there at Dutton Park. And Angaston and South I think will bounce back here over Angaston. South last week had a poor game, but they did play the top side Barossa District, who had taken all before them this year.
True. We'll finish off with Adelaide Plains and A1 matches from last week. Balaclava took on Hummocks, and it was Hummocks 52-34, far too good for the Peckers. Hamley Bridge 46 defeated Virginia 42. 2 Wells 35. They defeated Long Plains 30, so a couple of cracking games there last week.
Fantastic stuff. The table will show those girls from the Hummocks undefeated at the top. 6 wins. How about this? They are 6 wins, and then second place Virginia are 3-2 and a draw. So they are nearly 3 games clear on top of a ladder. Then Balaclava 3-3, 2 Wells 3-3, Malala 2-3 and a draw, and then Hamley Bridge 2-3 and a draw, and Long Plains have got that drawn game. So interestingly, there's been a couple of drawn games already in senior netball in Adelaide Plains. So it's not unusual for close matches, but it is interesting to see 2 draws already.
It is, and might pay to note there, just 1 game. That's right, 1 game between 2nd and 6th on the A1 ladder there. So there's a bit of a logjam that'll sort itself out over the next couple of weeks. That is a look at Yorke Peninsula, Mid-North and Plains netball. And Flowman, we've still got plenty to come here on the Flow Friday Night Sports Show.
We certainly do. It is great to be able to bring you up to date with what's happening for those in the southern part of the state at Caniva and Eden Hope. We've got a footy report for you, and also looking forward to our next couple of hours too, where we get cracking on the footy.
Mallee Netball in just a tick with Nicole McMahon. It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show.